Hey everybody, it's Savannah Taylor, the Gardenista, your kitchen garden coach. Welcome back to my classroom. And do you see this beautiful diva behind me? That is a mammoth sunflower. And today I want to talk to you about the benefits of growing sunflowers, even if you have a small garden space, because this is a mammoth sunflower, meaning it's not like the little ones you see in little flower pots here and there. This one does like double, triple, I think even maybe quadruple duty. And I'm going to tell you why it's worth it, even if you just plant one. So, as you can see, I do have a pretty big backyard here. However, I have little projects going on all over the place. You guys know that I have a passion to help those of you with small garden spaces grow tons of food. Well, baby, this one is going to help you out a lot, and I'll tell you why. So, first of all, for obvious reasons, we need pollinators. If you're growing anything that requires pollination, your zucchinis, your summer squash, your all kinds of stuff. Lots of stuff need pollination, and this is a great way to draw those pollinators to your small gardening space. And it looks lovely. I mean, she is absolutely gorgeous, and I have several coming up around here, but they are just wonderful to even look at when you come out to your garden. They just make you feel some kind of way. I don't know about you. So, but yes, you need the pollinators, and this is a great way to bring those pollinators to your small garden space. Now, here's the other thing that comes with a slight little history lesson so that you understand the significance of this, what I'm about to tell you. So, back in 2011, not going to go into the whole sordid historical detail, but in 2011, Japan had a major earthquake that caused a tsunami, and the tsunami damaged a nuclear plant. And then that nuclear plant caused radiation to just poison the whole ground soil. It's you should Google it. It's a very fascinating story. But anyway, so you have this poisoned ground soil, which means what? You can't grow food. And of course, that starts a whole chain reaction of suffering. Okay. However, guess what they did? They planted sunflowers. If you go and you look at a lot of the pictures of that time of what happened, you will see fields and acres of sunflowers, because here's what sunflowers do. Sunflowers purify your soil. Absolutely. Yes, they do. They planted tons of sunflowers to draw those toxins out of the soil and purify the soil so they could grow food again. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, some of you who are new gardeners, if you have some soil and maybe you've used some toxins in your soil to either kill the weeds or to fertilize them, and I have a whole video on that if you want to use some organic fertilizers. Or maybe, you just made some choices. You were doing what you knew to do at the time you knew to do it, but you do need to maybe purify your soil. Well, sunflowers are a fantastic way to do that. Now, these mammoth sunflowers, and you can use any type of sunflower. Sunflowers of any size do the same thing. I'm not trying to limit it to the mammoth. It's just that look at her. She's gorgeous, right? However, just keep in mind that the mammoth sunflower does dig very deep roots. So when this one is done, and I'll get to that in a second, when this one is done, it is going to take a little bit of elbow grease to pull it out, okay? But you're going to have some nice, clean, purified soil afterwards, all right? So now to the final point. When this sunflower is done, it ain't going to really be done, because you can then take those seeds. This is where we get the sunflower seeds that we eat. Okay. I have a video, I'll put a link down below, where I actually take a sunflower that's already finished and, died off, and I will then cut the head off and let it dry in, say, my garage or shed or something like that. I'll let it dry out for a couple weeks. Okay. Sometimes I leave it in there a little longer just to make sure it's good and dry. And then what you do is you take it and then you take the sunflower seeds off. Now, there are people who actually cut the head off and put it on a grill. I've seen these, and sometimes some of you may have seen them. They put it on a grill and they just eat it right then and there. Now, I haven't been bold enough to try that, but from what I'm seeing, it is a thing. So if you want to try that, hey, listen, I'm not the one to tell nobody what to do, but have at it. But I'm just saying all that to say that sunflowers do major double, triple, quadruple duty in your small garden space. And if you ask me, that to me is a great hack to have when you want something to do more than one thing. Okay, it attracts pollinators, it purifies your soil, and I'll even show, like, I had some monster mammoth sunflowers last season, and I left them up a little too long, and the seeds just kind of, with the wind and everything, just fell all willy-nilly. So when I came out today, I see that I have a lot of results of that. Some of them even fell into a grow bag pot that I had, and I said, oh, should I uproot them and transplant them, because they're not going to really be able to fit in this grow bag. But you know what, I'll let them grow. They're not going to get as big as her back here, but they'll still get pretty sizable, and they will still be able to attract pollinators. And hey, you know, it's a bunch of them over there. But that's another thing, where sunflower seeds fall, you may not see anything during the next season or the season after that, but trust and believe, dormant seeds. I don't know if you've ever heard that popular, you got to reap what you sow, right? So we are reaping what we've sown, which is actually a beautiful consequence of some pollinators. So too, if you want to plant sunflowers in your grow bag, or if you want to plant them in your green stock, which I did a video on recently, or like, in a space like this, they grow in any type of soil. And I know some of you have heard me talk about soil, soil, soil. Sunflowers are not picky. Sunflowers do not need fertilizer. Sunflowers do not need, they are low maintenance. I didn't even do anything to these sunflowers over here except forget about them. And they're coming in strong because that's what they do. Think about it. When people grow wildflowers, or when they, throw sunflower seeds out, they're not going back and watering, and they find water. Okay. They find nutrients. And in fact, I think I've read somewhere that you actually don't want to fertilize sunflowers. You'll really be wasting product, because they are just naturally something that come up and they help you. Okay. They don't need your help. Okay. All right. So that's all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching. Listen, if you have any questions, be sure to put them down below. I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question, because if you had that question, I guarantee you someone else had that question. And I am usually pretty good about getting back to you all. So feel free to put whatever questions and comments down below. I am seeing some of you putting some requests down there. So I will be sure to look into doing some videos on those ideas. So stay tuned. But until then, until we grow something else, I'll talk to you later. Bye.